It is Ladainian Tomlinson here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, LT?
I'm doing wonderful.
I'm looking at you and I see a mere mortal right now.
Huh?
In 6 days? 5 days?
Who knows what's going to happen?
Come on, I know, look, I'm sorry to say that to your face because I know I've been around Marshall and Dion. Well, Dion was pissed that he had to be taken off of the field where he was coaching kids to go downtown. He was not happy about, that he had to show up to accept his Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement because he was coaching youth football.
Yeah.
He did not want to be taken off that field.
Well, that's his passion.
He was upset about being named to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Well, I won't be upset.
I know that, but I know Marshall was he was his first ballot you can get. Yeah. He was nervous as a cat too. How are you?
Well, I'm nervous as well. Because you never know for sure. I mean, people speculate, obviously, but man, it's the Hall of Fame, right? I mean, geez, I can't imagine that feeling of getting the knock at the door, as a lot of people have said.
Yes.
But also, the main reason is our colleague Terrell Davis is also a finalist.
Kurt too.
Kurt as well, but Terrell is a running back. We're both running backs. Mm-hmm. I doubt if they will nominate or enshrine two running backs in the same class.
That'd be. I think they should not even look at that sort of metric. It's if you deserve it, you should go in, and if it's three running backs, then so be it. There's just an incredible number of people who are obviously deserving of it. What would it mean for you to hear your name called in that regard here in the state of Texas?
Oh, wow. This is where it started, Rich. Growing up as a little kid, high school for us, growing up playing football here, high school was our NFL. That's the way we looked at it. As you know, high school football in Texas is huge. It is it's everything. The town totally shuts down on Friday nights, and everybody goes to the football games. So growing up, watching my older cousins, older brothers playing football, I couldn't wait to get to high school because I felt like that was the NFL. If I was able to make a varsity team in Texas, then I had made it. That's the way I felt. Mm-hmm. Now to be retired and up for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but to be able to possibly be nominated and go in back in my home state, I mean, it's surreal because my family is here. They all get to see me go in and, receive the news. If it happens, it's going to be a great feeling.
How many are here? How many are going to be here this weekend?
I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
You got still people who are still.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming at least
Give me
15,
a round number. 15?
At least 15, 20.
And then, of course, you've got there's the state of Texas in that regard, and then there's Southern California too, yes, LT. And yes. I was thinking of you the other day. I talked about it with Marshall when he was on our show as well, because he's Mr. San Diego State. Right. Are you in a difficult position because the Chargers have moved from San Diego to Los Angeles, and you are representative of the San Diego Chargers, but the organization obviously wants to share in your big moment, and there's folks in San Diego that kind of don't want to hear from that organization right now? Are you in a tough spot?
Oh, yeah. And I said this. I went on San Diego radio probably a couple of weeks ago, and I said on the radio, there's nothing. I can't win in this situation no matter kind of which way I go. Support the organization, support the community in San Diego, which I do anyway. I'm still a part of that community with my foundation and doing so many things there. Mm-hmm. But also, I'm remembered as a Charger. That's kind of what it is. And, I know it's tough on the people in San Diego because they have supported that team for 55 years, and they have been passionate about the San Diego Chargers. And so it's hard for me to speak about it, Rich, because, again, I can't be right in any situation. But hopefully the people in San Diego are able to forgive the Chargers and still support that organization.
And I've noticed Phillip Rivers still hasn't come to grips with it.
Yeah.
I mean, he went down to the Pro Bowl and said, you can call me an LA Charger all you want. I'm a San Diego Charger. That's how I made this game. And I don't know, did you see him and Joey Bosa on Jimmy Kimmel? Did you see that video?
I heard about it.
Well, where they were sworn in on a pair of yoga pants
yeah.
by Jimmy Kimmel, sworn in as a Los Angelino. And and Philip couldn't even bring himself to say the words Los Angeles. He did not say those words. You could see kind of like, rolled his eyes a little bit and then finally got into it. He doesn't seem like he's there yet.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that assessment?
I think you're right. It's going to take him some time. Philip is a very loyal person, and he really loves San Diego, and he raised his kids, all 8 of them. They've been raised in San Diego, and so it's hard for him to come to grips with the team leaving and going up to L.A. That's just kind of who he is. But eventually, if they want to sell tickets and they want to get people out to the games, Philip has to come on board.
Ladainian Tomlinson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Check him out on NFL Network, NFL Total Access, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every single night here from Houston. Then you and Prime will be part of Game Day Prime after Super Bowl 51. Let's talk about this game. How do you see this playing out, LT?
Well, I'll tell you what, and I've thought about this for a while. When Seattle went to New England earlier this year, they really played well. I mean, they physically dominated the Patriots, physically. Mm-hmm. And so seeing the Falcons dominate Seattle in the playoffs physically, it makes me think that Atlanta has a great chance to win this game. For one, they have all the weapons, right? And we know that the Patriots are going to take away Julio Jones. At least they're going to try to. Well, who else do you have on that offense that can generate plays and generate points? A lot of guys. Mohamed Sanu, Tevin Coleman, Devontae Freeman. The list goes on and on. They have guys.
All
right?
the tight ends that nobody's ever heard of, right? The tight end scores are like, who? Who's that guy?
Right. But also they have the offensive line. And so I see the Falcons being able to score on the Patriots, obviously, but the Patriots will score as well. But I think it's going to come down to the Falcons have made plays on defense, timely plays, turnovers, interceptions, sack fumbles. I think they do that late in the game and end up winning the game.
You want to call your shot? Who's going to be that one? Is it Freeney? Freeney coming around the end?
I think Vic Beasley. I think he's done it all year. He's going to show up at the biggest moment, much like Von Miller has done in his career.
Yeah.
I think Vic is much like Von, that he starts, in the fourth quarter, he starts to dominate the game.
And Freeney can play the DeMarcus Ware role from the same concept as to how New England got bounced out of last year's playoffs.
Exactly.
Interesting. So you like the Falcons in this
game? I do.
And
here's another thing. Looking at that defense that Dan Quinn has built, it's built in the image of a Seattle. When you see that team, they fly to the ball, Rich. It's always 2 and 3 people around the football at all times. That's why they generate so many turnovers.
And then, obviously, the last team to have beaten New England this year was Seattle.
Yes.
How about them apples? All right, so we found ourselves a Falcon, a guy who's taking the Falcons here. Well, good to see you, LT. I can't tell you how. I'll say I can't tell you how excited I am for you. I know it's not over until it's over, to use the phrase, but you absolutely deserve it, and you're going to hear your name on Saturday. And just remember, in your speech, we'll chat between now and August. Don't forget about the people who are now part of your new family.
Absolutely.
Especially come party time at the Pro Football Hall
No, not that. No. Don't look over there. Look just right here, LT. Just right here in my face.
Well, we've always had a special relationship, Rich. Don't get jealous.
Okay.
He did follow you on Twitter for a while, Rich, if you recall.
Yes, that's true. I had to shame you into following me on Twitter at one point, but that's okay. Let's not forget about that. But I look forward to seeing the teardrop in Canton.
Thank you.
You're the man. Ladainian Tomlinson right here in his native state of Texas.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.